last week we went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art on last Thursday, and we went three main exhibitions. Actually, we went to 5 exhibitions, but these 3 exhibitions was a big one. And the first one is the exhibition of the Greece, and the second one is the Rome, and the third one is China through the looking glass. Actually, this exhibition is really famous. After the visit to the Met, I took a lot of photos and I sent to my mom. But I was amazing. I was shocked that she sent me even more detailed photos, and she told me that she have heard this show before than me, and one of her friends in China, like, in order to join the exhibition, she flew to New York for this show. So this show is really famous. The first show we look at is the Greece, and are some photos I took.
Except that's Egypt. This part is Egyptian.
Yeah, Egypt. Sorry. And the second show is Rome. These are just some reviews of what we saw. And the most interesting part is the show of the China through the looking glass. These are also some photos taken by me. And this show is actually a fashion show with a lot of fashion styles of clothes. And among all of these clothes, the one I'm most interested in is this one, the long top of the last emperor. This is how the dragon robe looks like. This really interests me a lot. So before my discussing, I want to ask a question. Who wants to be an emperor? Any of you? Because emperor in China is really the biggest man, the most important man. All the people, this is how it goes. All the people admires you, all the women like you. You have the highest power in China. So who wants to be an emperor? I want to be emperor. So I was really interested in this part, and I was really interested in the last emperor of China. So I did quite a lot of research on him. His name is Puyi. He was born in 1906 and died in 1967. Actually, he had been emperor for 2 times. The first time is the first time is from 1908 to 1912. This is the first time he became the emperor, and for some reasons he was kicked out from the Forbidden City, and I will discuss it later in the slide. And the second time he became an emperor is the 1934 to 1945. And I will say that his whole life is a tragedy. So let's see. This is the photo of him. And he was firstly lose his position of an emperor due to the Shanghai Revolution in 1911, who was recruited by the leader Sun Yat-sen. And at that time, the lengthy history of the feudal monarchy in China was abolished by the Shanghai Revolution. This feudal monarchy means that the emperor is everything. He's the most important man in China. And unfortunately, Puyi was driven out of the Forbidden City in 1924. And later, he was manipulated by Japanese invaders. Cause at that time, Japanese invaders want to occupy China, and they need to manipulate Puyi as a puppet emperor. Means it's a kind of fake emperor with no. The emperor himself cannot make any decisions. He is manipulated by all the Japanese invaders. And later, when China wins the wars against the Japanese invaders, Puyi was caught and he was in prison until 1959. And this was the Japanese invaders. His whole life was tragedy. At the age of 53, when he was finally get out of the prison, his whole life is tortured and tormented. He, at that time, at the age of 53, he went back to the Forbidden City, to the Palace Museum, which used to be his home. However, he was asked to pay for the tickets to go into the Palace Museum. Because at that time, Palace Museum is no longer a home for the emperor. It became a point of view, a place for the visitors to go through. And he was asked to pay the tickets for his original home. So his life was really a tragedy. And he cannot have children because his past cousin slavers who served him, and he did something to his body, and he could no longer give birth, have children. This was the home belonged to him, and he was asked to pay for the tickets. So he was really a victim of the political conflict. So what I want to say is, let's look back to this dragon robe again. How many of you want to be an emperor? What I learned from this and from the research, this is the sentence I conclude. With the dragon robe on, you have the highest power in a country and you can control everything. However, without the robe, you worth nothing. Everyone can beat you, everyone can do something bad to you. So it's really complex when you are involved in the government, in the political conflict. Puyi is a great example of this. Although this dragon robe was put in the kind of fashion show, but it's kind of not only the fashion show, but also the mixture of the history. So